If you want to journey on the Beauty Way path, you have to listen to your conscience that is available and that connects all of us, and it has always been there. And when we ignore that conscience, we bring ignorance to ourselves. Teneni tlenigi di tango shindan his nest ta a chendani glina ta aro yesige dan hin tlenigi hadikat ahoitet ote isn't aro to ata aholia aro to tikat ayesabe nan hit nest taki ya ta kaile atena net law. As I was growing up, I had the great and wonderful opportunity to spend a lot of time with the old people. And these would be men that were medicine men, women that were medicine women. And they had a lot of information to share with me. And the things that I think about nowadays is that in the way of our people, there are people that would be probably educated, you might say, to the point of where they had PhD in so many different areas of the disciplines of the world. And so they were very, very intelligent. And some of the things that were shared with me when I was growing up, I really didn't understand at the time. But now that I can look back and I understand what they were saying and what they were trying to teach me and get me to understand. And so I appreciate that from that perspective. And so the Sweat Lodge teaching, many of our own people say, this is sacred information that should not be shared. I hate to disappoint, but I don't think that there are many among our people today that would be willing to step into a Sweat Lodge. And we don't have those old people anymore. And I'm always grateful for the opportunity that I had to sit with the old people. And I remember listening to them pray. Oh my goodness. To be able to sit with the old people and to listen to them pray, it would seem like they were sitting right in front of our Nihita. And that was to be the way that they would address Shata, or my father. And then they would talk to their father, just like you would be talking to someone sitting in front of you. Those prayers were so beautiful. In the many teachings of our Dene, there is one that comes to mind that at the time, when they would say, take care of yourself, and then they would add this part onto it. And that was the part that was very important. And that was to say, don't ever waste your life, or don't do foolish things with your life. And so that meant don't run off over a cliff. And there are purposes in your life, and your life has meaning. Your life is a gift from the holy people. And it is the most precious thing that you can have. And you can make of your life in this, the third world. And that was very important for them to repeat at every opportunity, it seems like. And the thing that is kind of a big concern to a lot of our Dene is that we have a generation or two of our Dene that have probably never received those teachings of the old people, which is to live a meaningful life. Understand that you are one of the children of the holy people, and they are concerned about you, and they are concerned about the things you do in your life and the things you do with your life. They are always there to help. But the thing that most of our young people have never ever been taught is that it is important to recognize your identity as Dene, which is being one of the children of the holy people. And so today, because we have neglected to share these types of information with our young people and our previous generations, that we have Navajo people, or Dene, that are out there in major cities and towns and that claim to be victims and are homeless. And they are alcoholics or drug addicts, and they get involved in all kinds of crime, fighting, and in some cases even murder, and of course all types of thievery and so on. I shared a story not too long ago about my late brother and how he encountered one of these young people on the streets and told him there is no such thing as you being homeless. You have clan relatives from where you were born and where you were raised. You have aunts and you have uncles and you have other parents that are people that are related to you by clan. They are your family. They are concerned about you. They don't want to see you out here wasting your life and heading for a cliff. And so when my brother addressed this young man, after he had shared a lot of the information that we've provided here, the young man made the finger gesture. And my brother said he was hurt that this young man would scoff at the truth and that he had given him. And it is true. Any Dene that claimed victimhood, of whether it come from the government or from whatever source it came from, you accepted that. And now your identity is not the children of the holy people. You are a victim. You even blame the holy people. I am a victim, made a victim by the holy people. No, you are not. And so we turn to alcohol or drugs or any type of other addictions and that to feel comfortable in our physical self. And we go along with whatever seems like appropriate or makes us feel temporarily comfortable. But many times we don't understand that they cannot be helped until they take it upon themselves and say, it is my responsibility and to make my own life. And so it is possible that they have never ever had any type of training offered or information and teachings offered by the old people in their lifetime. But the teachings that we offer and information that we have had passed down to us applies to us today just as it has applied to people in the past. Atena netla is a very serious teaching. Is don't waste your life. Don't play games with your life foolishly. It is to understand that you have to remain on the beauty way path. That is the idea of journeying on the beauty way path, to understand that the only place that you can have joy, happiness, confidence, and peace is you step onto that beauty way path. But to do that, there are many things you have to do. You have to change. And change, as we have mentioned often, is a very painful experience for many people. And the teaching that we have to grow in this particular existence that we are in the third world. We have to grow in mind, in the heart, in our soul, which is the body and the spirit. And also we have to understand that the holy people communicate with us by means of conscience. When I was receiving instructions about conscience, and as I mentioned, it took me years and actually to understand what they were talking about. Hanne is not the same thing as the brain and the power to think. It is different. They sound the same, and sometimes, I guess, in the traditional teachings of our people, they say that Hanne is different than Ntsakes, Dorakes, Deda. Anne, Linigi Edikat, the Indonesia, but Ado, which is to say that the conscience is directly from the holy people, and it is never wrong in any way. And the teaching, when it is presented, it is to almost say that it is the brain of the spirit. It is the brain that is in contact with the holy people. It is on the spiritual level. And sa case yet again, ben sa case ben not is what we are told, and that is to say that the ability to have an awareness of conscience is actually what is given to us by the holy people to our spirit as we experience life in this world, which is in a physical setting. And in that physical setting, the brain, completely different, is the one that responds to the appetites and to what it sees, what it hears, what it smells, what it tastes, and what it touches. And it relies on the physical senses. And that's limited only to this world. But when you apply the spiritual understanding, the spiritual interest, and that, and so we are told that there is a difference between the thinking power and the conscience and the consciousness that we have with the holy people. And the teaching, which is, if you're going to understand this, it is up to you. And so the reliance on the physical thinking, or the physical brain, and its powers to think, they can do all kinds of things in this world, but there is that higher form of thinking and understanding and comprehending, and that is the spiritual understanding. When we are told that the whole of the earth is made by this awareness of conscience, and that is only held by the holy people, and they share it with us in a portion of our spirit that is the teaching of conscience. And so the teaching is extensive, and they say that to understand that, you have to understand spiritual things. If you try to explain that thing of conscience and spirit, that many people will not understand it because they are not able to step into that understanding of spiritual things. And so there's a whole series of teachings on that made available by the old people. Is the way they tell us, that we receive the correct information through our conscience, but then we let the brain take over, and there is where we have to decide if this is right and this is wrong, even though that we have been given the answer. And everything in this life, we are told, has an answer. There is not any answer or any question that can never be answered. And some questions we might have may not be answered in this life. But nonetheless, we are told the answers are there. But sometimes we are not mature enough to understand the answers that we are given. And a lot of times people don't even want to accept the truth when they are given the truth. They reject truth. And so the teachings of our people, take care of yourself, is to tell us, take care of your body, take care of your mind, take care of your heart, and take care of your spirit. And so the teachings are many, and it is for the purpose of saying, if you want to journey on the beauty way path, you have to listen to your conscience. Listen to that little small voice that is available and that connects all of us, and it has always been there. And we have to choose whether we listen to that conscience or we ignore it. And when we ignore that conscience, it is that we bring ignorance to ourselves. And ignorance can destroy us. And the many things that come with not listening to that small voice. And that's the things that we are told when we are instructed by the old people, when they say, don't do foolish things with your life. Listen to your conscience. And then, is that it's going to be done. It has to be done by you. We are a being of mind, thinking. We are a being of a heart or emotion. And we are a physical being that is made up of physical substance. But we are also a spirit being. Now, a lot of times the spirit is referred to as the ne or air being. That's the closest thing that people can compare it to. But when we say ne, it is almost like a mirage. Ne, which is the surface people that we are. But we are if in a physical form, but if we did not have the physical form, we would be like that vapor or that air. And that is who we really are. And that is the children of the holy people. Or the children of the holy people. And that's who we are. And that is our true identity. Listen to the holy people. Understand it. And the teachings are many. And I invite people to ask questions. And there are always people there who want to help. And they can do the best they can. And all we can do is hope that they can provide the help that is needed by all that have wandered away from the Beauty Way path. And those are the things that we are told.
Hey, thanks for watching our videos. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss one of our uploads. Also, head over to our website, NavajoTraditionalTeachings.com. Sign up for our email list. Okay.